Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Wednesday, July 27, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the stories we are following this evening. Guyana inks US $2 billion MOU with EXIM Bank to fund developmental projects. VP JAGDEO sues Chinese businessman for defamation. Exxon taking steps to ensure longevity of oil production, says manager. Bandit shot dead after invading GRANGE home. Suspended opposition MPs to lose parliamentary benefits, and International Building Expo 2022 exceeded expectations. Now for the news in detail. In our lead story this evening, Gerald Bryan reports that Guyana has signed a historic US $2 billion agreement with the United States Export-Import Bank, which would allow for funding for a range of projects, including those in the renewable energy sector.
The signing of the MOU between Guyana and the U.S. Export-Import Bank occurred earlier today in Washington, D.C. Signing the documents was Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd and EXIM Bank President Richard Joel Lewis. After the historic signing, President Dr. Irfaan spoke of what the MOU will mean for Guyana outside of just oil and gas. He noted that the MOU sets an initial figure of US $2 billion for developmental projects in Guyana.
The areas that we've identified shows the broad, multifaceted nature of the leadership that EXIM Bank. Anyone looking out into Guyana now narrowly focuses on oil and gas, at their own detriment, because the country has significant other distinct advantages in becoming the leader on climate change, environmental services, biodiversity services, food security, food production and agriculture, critical infrastructure link that can unlock tremendous potential for the vast array of natural resources we have, unlocking the connection of northern Brazil to the Atlantic Ocean that will develop a logistics and transport hub second to none in scale.
The President also spoke about the wider signal the signing of the MOU sends for the entire Caribbean region.
The United States, through one of its agencies, EXIM Bank, is serious about the commitment and promise to this region, Caribbean region. This signal is an open invitation to the private sector and leadership of both countries to now move progressively forward on a platform that is supported by the government of Guyana and the EXIM Bank. I hope that they make full use of this opportunity.
President Ali left for the U.S. on Sunday. He has already met with the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Vice President Kamala Harris. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
In a defamation claim filed at the Demerara High Court, Vice President Dr. JAGDEO is seeking more than $50 million in damages from Chinese businessman Su Zirong, whom he has accused of making false and slanderous statements about him in an interview on Vice News, a New York-based current affairs channel. Fiona Morrison reports.
In the interview aired over a month ago, Chinese businessman Su Zirong attempted to implicate Vice President Dr. JAGDEO in his schemes by claiming that he acts as a government official's middleman in securing investments. In these conversations, the businessman presented himself as a middleman between Dr. JAGDEO and potential investors, while at the same time soliciting cash from undercover Vice News agents. According to the court filing, Su Zirong's utterances give the impression that Dr. JAGDEO, an economist, accepts money to assist investors and that Su Zirong was his broker to negotiate such underhand deals. Su Zirong, who operates in Guyana, also claimed to be close friends with Guyana's vice president, but Dr. JAGDEO described him as only being his tenant. In the same breath, however, he also made clear in the undercover interview that Dr. JAGDEO does not take bribes. In the preview released ahead of the full airing, Su Zirong is also heard referring to Dr. Jagdeo, saying his hands are very clean. At no point in the full recording of the episode did Vice News present any evidence of wrongdoing or corruption on Dr. Jagdeo's part. Su Zirong is a businessman and a national of the People's Republic of China. He is also a citizen of Guyana by naturalization of Lot A, Block 2, Public Road, Land of Canaan, East Bank, Demerara. Persons falsely using Dr. Jagdeo's name to solicit money from investors is nothing new, and in fact, Dr. Jagdeo had cause to publicly warn investors during a press conference earlier this year not to fall for this scam.
Oil giant Exxon Mobil is taking steps to ensure that it can maintain the production plateau, the phase at which oil production peaks of the Liza 1 and 2 projects in the Stabroek block for as long as possible. Here are the details.
During a press conference on Tuesday, Exxon production manager Mike Ryan provided an update on Exxon's operations in the Stabroek block. Combined, both the Liza Phase 1 and 2 projects are producing over 200,000 barrels of oil per day. Asked how long Exxon can maintain its production plateau, Ryan explained that they are doing everything possible to ensure its longevity.
The production plateau, it's measured in years. You know, as the reservoir performs, you think about Liza Phase 1 and Liza Phase 2, it's a similar reservoir. We continue to gather information and learn from the reservoir, and how that performs will inform us how long we stay at these capacity rates. Reservoirs are not designed, though, to operate at plateau forever. It is measured normally in years. As you operate, you learn more about the reservoir, and you learn about how to get the most out of the reservoir through gas injection and through water injection and just prudent management.
According to Ryan, they have a number of reservoir management geoscientists on their payroll.
We do well testing, we do monitoring. We want to make sure we develop the resource responsibly for the maximum value to Guyana and our partners.
It was only yesterday that Exxon announced new oil finds in the Stabroek block, bringing its total discoveries in the block to 33. Oil was found at the Seabob 1 and the Kiru Kiru 1 wells. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
A suspected bandit who allegedly begged a businessman to take his life was later shot dead in a scuffle during a home invasion at Unity Street, GRANGE, West Bank, Demerara. Bisham Mohammed has the details in this report.
The dead intruder was identified as Leron Ford. No other personal information was available at the time of this report. Also injured in the scuffle was a businessman, 34-year-old INT'L Singh of Lot 3 Unity Street, Lagrange, West Bank, Demerara. He is presently receiving medical attention at the West Demerara Regional Hospital. Police investigations revealed that the businessman and his family retired to bed at about 22 hours on Tuesday evening. However, at about 1:15 on Wednesday, they were awakened by a song emanating from one of the windows in their apartment. As such, Singh got up, armed himself with his licensed .32 Taurus pistol, and stood behind the door of his bedroom while his wife and child remained on the bed. Shortly after, two men, one armed with a cutlass and another with a crowbar, reportedly rushed into the bedroom. In retaliation, the businessman discharged a round, hitting Ford in one of his legs, causing him to fall to the ground, while the other escaped. At that time, the injured bandit allegedly begged Singh to take his life by shooting him, but he refused. This led to a scuffle between the two men, during which several rounds of ammunition were discharged. Subsequently, the police were contacted, and upon arriving at the scene, Ford was found lying in a pool of blood with several gunshot wounds to his head and body, while Singh also sustained gunshot wounds to his body. During their investigations, police recovered 5 spent .32 shells, 4 live rounds of ammunition, and 2 metal fragments suspected to be warheads in the bedroom. Meanwhile, Singh was taken to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, where he was admitted a patient, while Ford's body was taken to the Ezekiel Funeral Home awaiting a post-mortem. The licensed firearm was lodged and the businessman's wife was taken into custody, assisting with investigations. Bisham Mohammed, The Evening News.
Let's now tell you that Vice President Dr. JAGDEO, who is presently accompanying President Dr. Irfan Ali and other government officials to the United States on Tuesday, tested positive for COVID-19. A release from the Department of Public Information has said that prior to his departure from Guyana, Dr. JAGDEO showed no symptoms and had tested negative. As a result of this development, President Ali and all other members of his delegation have also been tested, and the results have returned negative. President Ali and other members of his delegation will continue to engage U.S. officials over the next few days. The delegation has already had a number of engagements, including meetings with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Deputy Secretary of Commerce Don Graves, and U.S. business leaders and government officials. Suspended opposition MPs to lose parliamentary benefits, and International Building Expo 2022 exceeded expectations. This and more after this short break.
Optic offers great patient care that is tailored for my entire family.
At Optic, a wide selection of affordable optical frames and optical services are available to fit your budget.
At Optic, my family is provided with comprehensive eye examination and access to the ophthalmology services, all under one roof.
Optic takes pride in delivering exceptional customer service and a unique experience to you, our customers.
Optic Vision Care is a company that is Guyanese born and grown that will help you take care of your precious eyes.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
We asked two families, which antibacterial soap do you buy?
Any. They're all the same.
I always buy Protex.
And why is that?
Because Protex reinvented antibacterial soaps. Its formula is fortified with flaxseed oil to boost your skin's natural antibacterial defenses.
And it keeps on working throughout the day.
Wow. Can I have a Protex?
Naturally.
Protex, for the good health of the skin.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe.
Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We a crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine snack, cheese balls. Love cheese in every bite, flavor in every crunch. Extra cheesy, we love it so much. Love cheese in every bite. Grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We a crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls.
Grab a Sunshine Snacks cheese puffs today. More cheese, more flavor.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Are you involved in a violent relationship and feeling hopeless? Does your partner shout at you, call you names, or hit you? Does your partner tell you where to go, who you can talk to, and how long you can stay out? Do you require your partner's approval on what you can wear? Does your partner keep money from you or takes your money? You are not alone. The National Coordinating Coalition is here to help. Call us on 628-7833 or 637-3319. We offer counseling, health support, and legal guidance to help you move forward. Our services are free and available for all migrants, Guyanese, men and women. Gender-based violence affects not only those who are abused and controlled, but hurts our families and communities. It hurts us all. Together, we can work to end it. A message from NGO National Coordinating Coalition and made possible by the support of the American people through the United States Agency for International Development, USAID.
Traveling soon? Then come into John Lewis Styles on Waterloo Street and let's help you choose the right set of luggage. You can choose to buy 3-piece luggage sets, or separate pieces, but the sets are always a better deal. Either available in soft poly, or ABS hard side material, with 4-wheeled spinners, and in many colors too. Also available are carry-on luggage, computer bags, duffel bags, backpacks, travel pillows, blankets and lots more to make your trip enjoyable. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The 8 opposition members of parliament who were recently suspended for several sittings over their misconduct last December will not be able to enjoy their various parliamentary benefits during the period of their suspension. Vanu Manikchand has the details.
Last week, the National Assembly adopted a report from the Parliamentary Committee of Privileges, which recommended that 8 APNU-AFC opposition MPs be suspended over their conduct in the House on December 29, 2021. During the recent edition of his program Issues in the News, Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister INT'L detailed the consequences of this suspension.
Suspension carries with it certain consequences. They are not to be paid. So how many months that 4 sitting lasts? They will not. Those 4 sittings last, they will not be paid. For how many months the 8 sittings last, they will not be paid. They will also not participate in any committee business. They will not participate in any business of the National Assembly during the period of that suspension. So all the trips that they wanted to go on overseas and all the other benefits that would have accrued to them as parliamentarians are also forfeited during the period of the suspension.
According to Nandlal, this is another demonstration of democracy prevailing in Guyana.
Our democracy is working and it is strong, and despite efforts made to denigrate it, to undermine it, and to subvert it in relation to this issue, it has prevailed. And I would venture to say that conduct of this type would not be countenanced in any parliament, at least not in the British Commonwealth.
Opposition Chief Whip Christopher Jones, Ganesh Mahipal, Shara Duncan and Natasha Singh Lewis have been suspended for 4 consecutive sittings each over their attempts to disrupt the passage of the Natural Resources Fund bill and ignoring the authority of the Speaker on December 29, 2021. MPs Annette Ferguson and Vince Roy Jordan are suspended for 6 consecutive sit-ins over severe and egregious violations by removing the parliamentary mace from its rightful position, not only damaging the object, but also injuring and assaulting a staff of the Parliament office. Meanwhile, Tabitha Sarabo Haley, who entered the communication control room of the Arthurton Conference Center and destroyed several pieces of audiovisual equipment, is suspended for 6 sittings. Additionally, Marine Philadelphia is also facing a suspension for 6 consecutive sittings for verbally assaulting a Parliament staff. Reporting for the Evening News, Fanu Manikchand.
The curtains came down on the 5-day International Building Expo 2022 at the Guyana National Stadium and, according to the organizers, the event has exceeded expectations. Here are the details in this report.
At the closing ceremony of Guyana's International Building Expo 2022 on Tuesday, Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell stated that the event was successfully hosted, while stating that all 356 booths that were made available were occupied. These were utilized by government entities, along with local, regional, and international companies, which was undoubtedly the highlight of the event. He went on to explain the cost for the event was fully covered by the fee charged to the exhibitors.
Any expo of this magnitude, it's a costly exercise. And so this expo was not run by government's input. The actual expo was all done utilizing funds from the persons who would have had to pay for their respective spaces. Even the extension for 2 days.
The expo, which was scheduled to come to an end on Sunday, was extended for 2 extra days, which the exhibitors commended, according to the minister. Minister Crowell, while expressing his gratitude to the exhibitors, specifically emphasized the contribution of the financial sector to the expo.
The contribution of the financial sector, the banking sector, this must not be de-emphasized because their partnership with the government, their partnership with the ministry has seen, obviously, when on the opening day, well, it has been happening continuously, and then you had a further announcement of the reduction in terms of the mortgage rate, which therefore provides more opportunities for persons to make a decision, not confining themselves to just maybe what is considered the low-income bracket. But every time we have a reduction in the mortgage lending rate, apart from the opportunity for more disposable income for those individuals, the key from all of that is that their horizon and the parameters for which they can make their decision is much more available to them.
Meanwhile, speaking on the Dream Realized initiative aspect of the expo, the minister stated that the majority of the lots that were allocated and titles that were given are new areas in which persons can now immediately access loans through the said financial institutions and begin construction.
That were distributed on the Dream Realized activity, those are areas, new areas, for which persons can now go and build. And I can give an example. For example, on the East Coast, you have INT'L, Monrepo, on the Vigilance, Bladen Hall, Stratsway. Here on the East Bank, Great Diamond, Little Diamond. On the west coast of Denmark, areas such as Cornelia Idle, Edinburgh, Anna Katrina, Mette-Meersburg, and we can go on and on. These are new areas that start up. So there's a correlation in this, in terms of the areas that we've now complete. So persons receiving their title, to all of those persons, immediately they can access loans and they can start construction.
Also speaking on the Dream Realized aspect of the expo was CEO of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Sherwin Greaves, who highlighted they have come close to achieving their target of distributing 5,000 house lots and 3,000 land titles, and may even surpass it, as they would have continued that process yesterday at the expo. For the Evening News, Amar Prasad.
3 persons were taken into custody following the discovery of a quantity of ganja and other items during a police operation at Sophia, Greater Georgetown on Tuesday. The operation was conducted in E-Field and Red Road in Sophia, where several persons, houses, and shops were searched. During the operation, 1 red motorcycle belonging to an identified male who is known to the police, along with 7 grams of cannabis, 4 cell phones, 4 electronic tablets, 1 Rolex wristwatch, and a gas mask was found on the premises. Further, a search was carried out at the home of a 49-year-old construction worker of Cummings Park, Sophia, where 51 grams of ganja was unearthed. Also, a search was carried out on the home of a 31-year-old construction worker of Cummings Park, during which GDF webbing was found. As such, 3 men were arrested and are assisting with the investigations. The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Health, has, since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, held a number of vaccination drives with the aim of increasing the uptake of vaccines among the Guyanese population. But the results have not been as encouraging as had been expected. Amar Prasad reports.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony on Wednesday stated that the government is considering to putting an end to its vaccination drives that are held almost every month across the country. The minister explained that these drives, which are very costly to arrange, have been seeing very low turnouts recently. He added that one of their most recent vaccine drives only saw 7 to 4 persons come out to get their necessary doses of the vaccine.
We'll look at the needs and the demands. The last one that we did when we were looking at giving the second doses, we didn't have a lot of people coming forward. So we're trying to analyze what are the factors that are preventing people from accessing these vaccines. What is creating that level of hesitancy so that we can address that and hopefully get better turnout. We had, I think, on the last occasion, just 7 to 4 people. These exercises, they cost a lot of money to organize because we have to put a lot of staff and infrastructure in place. And if we're not going to get large turnouts, then it's probably not economical to do these drives. So we're currently assessing whether or not to continue in this direction or to find some other ways of reaching people.
Minister Anthony further reiterated that the current circulating BA.5 Omicron subvariant is much more infectious and presents with flu-like symptoms, which leave many persons unaware of having the deadly virus. As such, he made the call for persons to get vaccinated and for parents to have their children take their jabs before schools reopen.
The BA.5 variant is a very contagious one. With BA.5, however, while it's very contagious and people can easily get infected, more than any other variant, what we notice is that persons would have flu-like symptoms, so their symptoms generally are not severe. And therefore, they're large amounts of people who are infected probably with COVID, but they treat it as if it's a flu. We still have a lot of people who need to be vaccinated. Hopefully parents would understand the importance of doing this and get their children vaccinated.
Meanwhile, officials are currently monitoring 716 active cases countrywide and have been able to detect 85 new cases within the last 24 hours. There are currently 18 persons in hospitals across the country, with 11 persons being at the Ocean View facility, 2 of which are in the intensive care unit. In terms of vaccination, 444,913, or 86.7% of the adult population, have received the first dose of a COVID vaccine, while 344,558, or 67.2%, have received 2 doses. For the 12 to 17 age cohort, 35,364, or 48.5%, have received the first dose COVID vaccine, while 25,865, or 35.5%, have received 2 doses. For the 5 to 11 age cohort, 6,210, or 6.1%, have received a jab, while 1,448, or 1.4%, have received 2. So far, 7,874 booster doses have been administered. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
41-year-old Colin Venture of Sophia, Greater Georgetown, who repeatedly raped a teenage girl, was on Wednesday jailed for 16 years by Justice Simone Morris Ramlal. Evidence revealed that the rapist groomed the 13-year-old girl before raping her on 3 separate occasions. Earlier this month, he was found guilty of 3 counts of sexual penetration of a child under 16. After deliberating for over 2 hours, the jury returned unanimous guilty verdicts on each of the 3 counts, finding that Venture had raped the child between September and October of 2020. Following the verdicts, Venture, who had been out on $150,000 bail, was remanded to prison pending his sentencing hearing, which was set for Wednesday. It was reported that Venture is known to the teenage girl and was in the habit of taking her into a toilet behind a shop near her home where he would commit the act. The matter came to light only after the girl's stepmother had searched her phone and found some disturbing messages between her and Venture. The young girl was confronted and she admitted that Venture had raped her on 3 occasions. A report was made to the police and Venture was arrested and prosecuted. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed to vehicular traffic on Thursday, July 28, 2022, at 3 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, Suburb-East River Bridge is expected to be closed at 16 hours 50 on Thursday, July 28, 2022, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Workload balance is key to GAW success this year, and Wendy's youth prospects Torn, Dindial, and Ramnot selected for Guyana Under-19s. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1150.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Try our virtual sports and win big with so much matches to choose from. Betting starts at $100. Play for your chance to win. Log on to www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents to place your bets. Terms and conditions apply. Have fun and play responsibly. Must be 18 and over to play.
Wash Bay operators, are you looking for that unique service to elevate your business? Well, come on down to your #1 industrial store, Sylvie's, and invest in an undercarriage pressure washer tool. That's right, impress your customers by now washing under-their vehicles easy and efficiently with an undercarriage tool. We have in stock different types that offer a wider range of services and can increase your revenue without having to invest in expensive ramps. Your customers are going to leave satisfied. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets location, we can deliver in and around Georgetown. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvie's Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rijnveld.
Looking for fresh, tender, and flavorful meat? Then check out Rossignol Butchery for steaks, burgers, sausages, minced meat, fish, and chicken. For a tasty, attractive cocktail, we have a wide variety of packaged deli meats and cheeses to decorate your platter. We also stock a wide assortment of canned goods, seasoning salt, sauces, and marinade, all in a highly hygienic, welcoming atmosphere with warm and welcoming staff to cater to all your needs. Rossignol Butchery, we meet your needs. 73 to 74 Church Street, Georgetown. Telephone number 223-0004.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Ultra Lubricants, the leading lubricants for tropical conditions, has been serving you for over 40 years, extending the life cycle of your vehicle's engine by protecting it from wear and corrosion, removes impurities, and reducing frequent vehicle oil changes. Ultra Lubricants is for every market, from two-wheel light vehicle to trucks, construction, agriculture equipment, mining activities, and boating. Ultra Lubricants, world-class lubricants for tropical conditions. Distributed by Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc. and available nationwide.